Before we start, I just wanted to thank you for tuning in. And if you're enjoying my content and would like to support, then you can subscribe to my YouTube channel or leave a comment. Or if you're listening, then you can rate and review the One Day Podcast on Apple Podcast. This stuff really helps and allows my content to reach a wider audience. Just to note that this is part 2 of my conversation with my guest, and it's a continuation of last week's episode. There's much more that we are yet to cover in this segment, so let's dig in.
That gave me fill the space in any room I enter too.
Yeah.
The beginning, I didn't like me being tall with the average height of men in the UAE men around 170. So it wasn't pleasant to be taller than men. But then, I'm telling you, I took the advantage.
And I started wearing heels.
Yes, exactly.
This is the One Day Podcast. My name is Emaar Al-Majali, and each week I am bringing you some of the most accomplished and inspiring minds in the Middle East and the world to give you a glimpse of their professional life and pull back the curtain a bit on the real and untold story of their success, to inspire you and help you learn from those who have walked the walk so you could move one day closer to your own goals. Hope you enjoy this episode. Only the few years I worked under your leadership was incredible, and the amount of accomplishments and international recognitions we've got on a lot of the projects we launched. It was great, honestly. Too many to mention.
Umar, to be honest, we were working in a hyperloop speed.
Yes.
For people who are watching us from outside, why the rush? Why are working 24/7? I'm talking about myself. I was enjoying jumping on my toes from launching a project to finishing a project to develop a new perspective, to design a new experience, to bring new partners. It was amazing.
Yeah.
The adrenaline rush. Oh, I miss it. No. I'm happy now with my own peace journey. But this wouldn't happen also without the support and belief of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid and His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed, who was also visionary like his dad, that wanted Dubai to have this a new lifestyle that reflect even him personally being young.
Yeah.
And out there. His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed, like his father, he's not shy to show what he likes and his passion about everything around him, from being close to animals and being futuristic to reach Mars.
Yeah.
So this extreme end-to-end platform that they allowed us to dream big and to implement big and to run with our full speed to uplift Dubai to a new level that it's not a dream, it's doable, and we've done it, alhamdulillah, in reality. So yes, it was something nice to experiment. And one more thing, Umar, that I do believe many leaders in public sector especially miss. When His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, always from day one, saying we need to walk our talk. If I'm a public servant providing a service for my community, at the end of the day, I'm also a member of that community. So I need to put myself in the community shoes to receive that service and to be honest about the experience, not hold into the idea, no, this is the best. If you reach to that level that I am the best, it means that you are stagnating.
Yes.
And again, this is the school of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, the school of excellence, that there's no end goal for excellence. And we are just jumping from one level to other. I tried my best to believe and reshift my mind to accept whatever I'm doing. And maybe because I worked at the executive office and also coming from a house that even my ancestors being warriors and survivals and this harsh environment, that we adapt and we change our mind and our perspective about life without losing our roots. These all help me in accepting, moving from being the only person who signed on all the documents in an organization to just allow everyone to manage the block he has in that full picture, and giving them the trust, giving them the space to redesign that block and innovate around that block and challenge the surround blocks of new ideas and new things, and listen to the team members and open the door and just be a public servant, an employee among the team members, not playing the superiority, which I do believe in many organizations, it kills the innovation that happen in the environment in turn.
I really can attest to that, because there are two types of leaders. There are the leaders who instruct, there are leaders who influence, and you were definitely a leader who was able to influence. And maybe because of that, because of what you just said, you're not someone who took on that superior role. You're someone who basically gave the autonomy and the responsibility, and you empowered your teams. You were able to do that all the time. You created like micro organizations within the organizations, and you gave so much autonomy to people to work on their own things.
And also, Emaar, don't forget that I came from scratch. As I said, my first role in Salat, my salary was 4,000. When I could manage, like, use my network to get a better post with a better salary, but I said no, I will grow the ladder and I will learn all the way the hard way. And seeing the cultures and these different entities that I work, whether it be private, local government, federal government, even international bodies, and how the culture affected people in this organization, that either it allows this organization to flourish and grow, or stagnate and just be a very traditional organization. It was like an opportunity, to be honest, when again the call came that you will be the leader for this body. I said, this is a shock for my system, but this is also an opportunity to see how I can, all these ideas and themes that I used to read about and see it in different smaller component in different organizations globally that can be implemented in a larger scale. Alhamdulillah, I think I managed to, transfer that knowledge.
You managed by far and significantly, and that takes a lot of confidence, Sarah Doctor. And I want to talk a bit about your confidence, because that's something that is striking. For anyone who knows you, you sit in a room and you own it. Whether you're sitting with a room of all men, all women, does not matter. You have this like strong aura to you. And I want to know, honestly, have you always been confident? Is that something? Is that a muscle that you had to work on? Where do you get it from?
To be honest, today I would say it's not a nice thing to have as a lady.
Why?
When I speak about community, many of my female and male colleagues, it hurt them to see a strong, established woman that is confident of herself. Again, a big role to my family, who allowed me just to be me and believe myself. One of the early situations in my life that my dad gave me a big lesson, until the day I still hear his voice in my ear. It was during a summer vacation in Morocco, and we were like in a small restaurant near Tangier, in Morocco, northern Morocco. Me, my dad, my mom, my sisters, my brothers, table, having a seafood meal for lunch. Table in front of us, full of young men. I wanted to eat my food. I couldn't because they were staring at us. So everyone was like eating the meal, and I was just like feeling shy, embarrassed. So my dad said, "What happened?" I said, "I can't eat. These boys are looking at us." He said, "So what?" "So what? I can't. That's just like embarrassing. I don't feel comfortable." He said, "Whoever will look at you, look into their eyes."
Oof.
especially if you are not doing anything wrong. I said, what? Is it like just easy like this? He said, yes, just look into them, look at them. And I was 11 or 12, and this command from your dad coming like, look into their eyes and let them feel shy, not you.
Oof. Wallah, strong one.
Especially in our community, this is not easy. It's not easy, Umar, in our community.
أكيد.
So from that day, I felt that I had this power that if I'm doing the right thing, I should not withdraw from that situation.
Yeah.
I should claim whatever is belong to me.
Nice.
And claim the power, and the authority will come by itself. No one will give you authority, and no one will come and give you the power. You should claim if you have the gut and if you have the feeling inside you. So I experimented internally in my family.
Yeah.
Then externally, during my studying years, and then the different posts I took, with the help also of many of the training I took around leadership, having a mentor with me. One of my early mentors, her name is Frances. She's from Australia. She pushed all my buttons. And I was always in a daily fights with her to grow those muscles in my heart and in my brain to gain that trust and that power, and that I am there. Other things that helped me also, Umar, I'm not a regular female, from a body structure. I'm tall, I'm 176, and I'm broad, I have a broader shoulders.
Yeah.
That give me fill the space in any room I enter too.
Yeah.
The beginning, I didn't like me being tall with the average height of men in the UAE men around 170. So it wasn't pleasant to be taller than men.
دكتورة.
But then, I'm telling you, I took the advantage.
And I started wearing heels.
Yes, exactly. And that also allowed me, as I said, to fill the space. And it wasn't a peer relation, to be honest. That's what I felt internally, a very respectable relation between me and my colleagues. First of all, I took advantage of everything around me. Coming from a very well-known family in our community, I took advantage. Not to grow faster in the ladder, but to gain respect of the community and of my male colleagues, because all of them, they knew my dad, and my dad being very close to his Han Sheikh Zayed. So I took that advantage, to be honest. I'm like my dad.
Yeah.
I'm here to continue the legacy of my dad.
Yeah, for sure.
So allow me.
For sure.
And then also taking advantage of my education, of my knowledge, taking advantage of being a female, that I need the support from you as males, taking advantage of being a mother, taking advantage of knowing many of the international colleagues. I took advantage of everything to make sure that I reach to my goals.
That is extremely inspiring, Doctora. And maybe that's why you are so vocal and you're always known for your female empowerment. And I want to honestly get your view on something. You were lucky enough to have a supportive family that allowed you to kind of grow that confidence. But the reality is, in the Arab world, we are still surrounded with situations where young females or women, they're still asking for permission from male figures, whether that be brothers, husbands, or fathers, to pursue their dreams, to pursue their visions. And what if there's a girl or there's a woman that doesn't have this supportive environment? How, should they navigate the conversations? What advice would you give them?
Even though my dad was a very visionary person, ahead of his age, very open-minded, gave me the full space to be myself, even though I was a divorced lady. And in our community, is not easy thing to be divorced, to go out and work in a mixed community. But my mom was the opposite, very traditional, not agreeing in me being out there for longer hours. And for a person who's passionate about a project, I don't look into my watch. I don't feel the time. I just want to finish whatever there in my hand. I don't eat. I don't even pay attention to my nature call to go to toilets. Nothing. I just want to finish. And you will see me running from room to room to make sure that everyone is attended and all these tasks and projects being done as it's supposed to be. I used to have this pressure from my own mom about being late and out there. But Omar, one of the things that I kept telling many of the young ladies and even men how to gain your family to be on board with you and be your supporter rather than the boundaries that stop you from growing. I start involving my mom every step. My mom, she didn't study. She learned and late in her age. She can read, especially Al Quran. She can now, mashallah, now she know how to navigate Snapchat and Instagram.
Allah,
She know how to order online. Yeah. And she has her own app for her CCTV cameras that she can control the whole household. But like I pushed her, like, you know why I'm late? We are doing this and this. So what do you think? What do you feel? Whatever. I didn't like involve her in the challenges, but rather in the process and the success that I reached and how the community look at us and how their highnesses respected us, which day by day made her feel proud. Not only mom, my aunties, my grandma, my uncles, our neighbors, even the helpers that work with us at home. As I told you, I took advantage of everything. Make them feel a sympathy with me that you are also part of what we are doing. What do you think of this name? What do you think of this? And what, I have these colleagues. So my mom know all my friends. And to be honest, whenever my friends, male or female, are introduced to my mom, they become her friends and they forget. But this is what a single advice I've kept telling every single woman. Don't make these challenges stop your way. See how you can overcome these challenges in a wiser way. We are women. We need to use our emotions to our own advantages to help us and support us into growing. Whether your husband, make him part of the story. Your brother, let him come with you. Let him feel proud that he also support that vision that you are working around, and so forth. So this, I do believe, is the magic wine that any lady can take to open doors for her.
Wallah, that's great advice, Doctora, because you're right. Whatever resists, persists. And if you resisted your parents more, and if you were against them being against you, then that situation would have persisted. But you made them part of your vision. You made them part of the story.
Today, as a parent, if I put myself in my mom's shoes, of course, I'll be scared.
Yeah.
All that I want for my kids to be happy and safe.
100%. طبعا.
Feed it, and they have everything and safe. صح ولا لا? This is what we want for our kids. Your parents, my parents, and other parents. So show them that you are in a safe environment. Let them be in that environment. I know many families who are very conservative, extremist. The moment their daughters tell them that we will work with Dr. Aisha or we want to be like Dr. Aisha, oh my God, you can't believe, Emaar, how much they support me. This brings me joy and like a goosebump in my whole body.
You've created a template.
Most of the time, when I see how other families respected the level I reached, and they support their girls, young generation to pursue their career the way how I did.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Doctora, الصراحة. And inspirational how we also talk openly about your divorce, which is a stigma in our region, and it shouldn't be a stigma. And I think the more you do that and the more you're vulnerable, the more people learn that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to talk about these things.
In our community, there are certain taboos that people they don't like to talk about, which used to be very normal olden days. From the late 70s, 80s, they became taboo because of the Islamic Brotherhood influence in our communities started during those days. See, before Umar, when a lady become divorced, she's with experience. So she'll immediately fly. After she finish her period of getting divorced, many will queue to get married to her. But she has experience in life.
Yeah, exactly.
Both of my grandmothers married, like my dad's side twice, my mom's side 3 times. Their aunties also the same, their cousins the same. Even like many of them are they became widowers and then they got married again. And no one talked about them. No one. They are like the stars in their communities. But what happened to us from the 80s? In the 80s, it was عيب a woman to go out. عيب a woman to uncover her face. Since when our ladies didn't cover their faces? Okay, they used to wear burqa, a local burqa, the shiny one.
Yeah,
which is it's not the burqa. It's the smaller
like
one.
the metal one.
Yeah, and with the metallic texture. That one is part of beautifying the lady rather than covering the lady. There's difference. Give the lady like a beauty, like a makeup. We didn't have makeup.
Yeah,
this was
like an accessory.
Replacement. Absolutely, like a jewelry. But ladies used to open their doors. Men were outside for 6 months diving for pearls. They were like receiving other men's and providing the hospitality and go out in the market, sell and buy. They were there, warriors like their brothers and fathers. Only in the 80s, no, ladies should not mix with men. Ladies should not go out without covering her face. She should not drive. My mom used to go with my dad to cinemas in the 60s.
Used to be way more open back then. Used to be way more
open. And Al-Ain, not Dubai. And Al-Ain.
Wow.
Al-Ain used to have a cinema with an open roof. And can you believe it?
That's crazy.
My mom, she said, we used to see Abdul Halim and Farid al-Atrash movies.
Yeah.
And then in the 80s, everything is haram. That's why it was, again, difficult for ladies to just push that envelope. But alhamdulillah, coming out from like a house that my dad never believed in those Islamic restrictions, because we were always that moderate Islamic family.
This is the way to go.
He allowed us to grow the same level as my brothers.
Yeah.
So when I got divorced the first time, I didn't feel the pressure at home. The opposite, actually. I enjoyed my next life. I was flying, like working, studying, traveling, doing everything I want.
خلاص, yeah.
Wherein my other friends who went through a divorce situation, they got locked down. Their life stopped. They stopped their career or their education. And today when I see them, they are nothing. And I feel really sorry. They didn't fight for their own rights, because no one will come and give you your rights if you don't fight for it. My family, they just opened the door for me. And because, alhamdulillah, the community respected my family, they respected me. That it's okay, I'm divorced, so what? This one thing. Other thing is a taboo in our community, and this doesn't link with Islamic extremists, women being themselves in their own age. And this is the influence of the capitalism and the social media fashionista lifestyle. And many of us don't go out without a filter in their social media images. Many of us don't fill their faces to look beautiful. And it's of course, we need, it's nice to feel that you are beautiful, but don't overcome and don't make it the end goal for you. So what if this is your age? This year, just a few days ago, I celebrated my 48th
العمر كله إن شاء الله دكتورة.
الله يخليك. So 2 more years and I'll be 50. And I'm happy. I don't feel the age. And I say it openly, I'm 48. So many of my friends who are the same age, they
shy away from saying it, yeah.
Yeah, and they even cut their relation with me because they don't want to associate with a lady who's 48, because they are stopped. They stopped in being 30.
Well, Doctor, I'm sure you're more active, more out there, more than most of them.
Alhamdulillah. I just like injured my shoulder after playing a
Yeah,
paddle.
سلامات صحيح.
Allah يسلم. For them, like, are you crazy playing paddle and tournament, taking it very seriously? Yeah, I want to be athlete in this age. I want to be athlete. So what?
Like right now, that's my focus. That's what I want to do.
Yes, so this is another thing that holds many ladies from being themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, our community and also the international influence put us in those molding that we need to be in that mold. Either the goody person that don't talk, I'm only a female figure to show internationally that we have a gender balance, or to show community that I'm the good girl that obey the traditions.
Yeah. They
in our
box you. They
community.
box you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't that easy girl lady to follow that mold. I built my own mold to be me.
I love that, Doctora. And it's always obvious in the things and your openness and your honesty, and which is great, and which is why, as we said previously, you're really loved, because people can your transparency and your honest truth shines through. Really, it does.
At the beginning, when you ask what did it take for you to get here, I don't want to say I'm sad, but I feel sorry for people who don't accept me today for being myself because they feel that I'm a strong woman. I do believe that they lost friendship or me present in their network. I don't blame them, Emaar, because they've either never seen a woman who believe in herself and who believe in her own dreams and what she's capable to do and what she deserves to have, or they've never had this kind of confidence in themselves to have a strong person near them.
I really don't think it has anything to do with you. I think it has everything to do with them. I think your confidence triggers in them what they lack. You're like a mirror to them of what they lack, and that makes them insecure, and they don't want to feel insecure. So it has nothing to do with you. I think it has everything to do with them.
And not only men, but even many women, because many women in our community, they are the glass ceiling for their peers as other women, cutting their wings, pushing them down by shaking their confidence in themselves. Us as women, we are molded with emotions. So any single word will affect us. For instance, Emaar, I work very hard at work. So when I want to come back home, I want my family to respect the energy I gave it to that thing, project, work. But when I come back home and I hear my mom saying that you're spending all your time out there, for what? Or my brother pressing me down, who will notice you, no matter what you do? Or my husband shake my confidence, saying that you will continue to be whoever you are, you will never be there. This tells us as women all what we want, someone to come and pat on our shoulder that you can do more tomorrow. Go and rest, and tomorrow there's another battle that you can give more and more to yourself, the growth of yourself, and to your community and to your country. So, and unfortunately, many of us don't have that kind of caution. I'm not sure if you are keeping track of time.
Yeah.
Emaar, I just opened up my heart, and I'm speaking very openly, so it's up to you.
It doesn't matter if we go over time. I'll split it into 2 episodes, or I'll work around that. And I'm loving the fact that we delve deep in a lot of really cool topics, and we got to uncover layers of Doctora that we don't know of. At least I don't know of. So no, I'm not gonna cut this short, Akid. Although we are at the end of the conversation. Anyways, I have one more question before we wrap up with 3 rapid fire questions that I want to ask you. And I always ask these 3 rapid fire questions to my guests. But the one last question is also a question that I ask all my guests. It has to do with productivity and focus. I always like to see what leaders out there or artists, how do they get focused? How do they get productive? Because we all have this habit of procrastination. So to Doctora, to you, for example, you love to write. You have a column in Zaharat al-Khalij. You're passionate about writing. If you want to write an article, if you want to focus on a certain project, if you want to get productive, what is a hack or a ritual or a system or an app that you use that helps you get in that space?
I would say I follow my gut feeling. I've never pushed myself. If my heart is not 100% in something, I can't move. This thing, I struggled with it at the beginning. My star is Virgo. So unless if I'm fully indulged in that thing, I can't even move one step. I have to feel it and be fully passionate about it. At the beginning, I used to just shut down that gut feeling. When I reached my 30, and I heard that advice from my friend Harakadan, and no, you're not doing good for yourself. You need to be a friend with that voice, with that gut feeling. So I start to listen more and to feel it and to allow it to shape my path, and not only my path, but even the way how I think. It gives me more peace internally. So that's what I do. And today I'm more into it, Umar. If anything, regardless, if I'm not there fully heart and brain, I don't do it.
You don't do it.
I just now pick whatever will move me, whether a topic, whether a conference, whether a meeting, whether a meal, whether meeting people or traveling or doing anything, even clothes.
Yeah, yeah. You are very passionate and unpassionate, because that's something that really, really stuck with me when you interviewed me for the first time. That was my final round of interview before I got to Smart Dubai. And I asked the question in the end. I was like, Doctora, what do you look for in a team? And I expected you to say, I want my team to be, hard workers or fighters, or I want my team to be technically capable. But no, you said, I care about people who are passionate. And it doesn't have to be passion necessarily in technology, but just they have something that they're passionate about, even if it's something outside of work. And I found that to be really cool, and it stuck with me, and I would never forget that, because it's not a typical answer you'd get.
In life, if you don't have passion and love for something, you are not a living person. You are dead. And I learned it also from my parents, both of them. They love life. They are full passion about life, every aspect of life, whether be loving culture, music, food, people, politics, travel, anything. So I grew in this environment that push you to open your heart and not feel afraid of loving something or being passionate about something. Because I remember many of my friends when I was young at school, they felt shy to express their feeling of having passion towards something. I used to have passion and love for food, and I enjoyed that experience. And now my love is about me and being more healthier and understanding my own inner energy. So it started with something and ended with something, but I didn't fear the movement. And I know the person who has that spark of passion, you will see it even in their eyes. Every morning, what will wake you up from bed? All of us will run after life to earn life for ourselves and our families. We want food at the end of the day on our tables. صح ولا لا? But what else? And I used to ask many of the employees who I worked with them, and I don't know why I used to ask that question. Why you choose to work here? What is the thing that make you wake up early morning, shower, and being in a very presentable way and attend to work? Okay, school, because we wanted the degree at the end of the year. But why work? Why this organization, not that organization? And it used to shock me that people just join organization for the sake of working. Us, this really made me feel sorry for them. Sometimes, yes, Umar, because of different situations, this is the only job available. And because you want that job, this is the only job in front of you. but it doesn't mean that you can't come out of it with a beautiful journey in that place. For me, even those helpers at home, I keep asking them on a daily basis if they are happy, how they are enjoying their day or their tasks. Do they need support? I'm there for them just to make sure that they are enjoying it. Any task being given to them, because it means a lot. At the end of the day, when you go and put your head in your pillow and remember those moments in your day and those special moments that you felt your heart beated, that I did it. Wow, I met that person. Wow, I read that quote. Wow, I saw that movie. This, yeah, for me, I will buy it with money.
Yeah.
Those moments.
Yeah. Oof.
So that's the passion you wanted in people. Organization is built from people. And if those people in this organization, they don't have passion, that organization will not work.
That's incredible, Doctora. Wow. This is an amazing answer. And I hope people take note of this, especially the leaders out there. We're coming to the end of the conversation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you 3 questions. And what you have to do is just give me a rapid fire question. It could be one word that comes to your mind. It could be a quick sentence that comes to your mind. Whatever comes from the heart, just shoot it.
Go ahead, shoot me.
Yeah. The first question is, what piece of advice would you give your younger self?
Just believe in yourself the same way you believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself. Powerful enough. What tip or hack would you give anyone out there who has a one-day aspiration and they want to make it a reality? They want to maybe move one day closer to that goal they have. What is that advice that you would give them to move closer to their goals?
Make sure at the end of the day, you put your full heart in that day.
Full heart and soul. Amazing.
Yeah.
And the last final question is, Doctora, what is it that you wish to accomplish one day?
One day, I would like to conquer my inner self.
Oof. What a powerful way to end this amazing conversation, Doctora. Salah, did not expect anything less. Thank you so much for your time. We went over time, and I know this is valuable time for you. So Amjad, appreciate you pouring your heart and being very transparent and honest and just authentic in this conversation. You shared everything with us, business, leadership, life, and I really do hope that people do take notes because there was a lot of golden nuggets that was shared with us today.
Inshallah.
The last thing is, where can people find you, Doctora, on Instagram?
My account is public, Aisha _Bishr. Twitter, the same is public. Unfortunately, Snap is still not public.
Yeah.
TikTok, I'm exploring TikTok. I'm not sure.
I would love to see you on TikTok.
I'm not sure if I'll be a TikTok person. Today, I have a low profile account just to understand how young people, but I'm always there. I don't know how people find my number. I think they use the caller ID app to get my number, but I do respond to people. I do respond to emails.
You do.
And it is my pleasure to just share part of the knowledge I gain in life if it can help anyone.
يعطيك ألف عافية دكتورة. Again, thank you so much for this, and this was amazing.
Good luck, Emaar.
I hope you enjoyed this episode and that you were able to pick up a thing or two that could help you in business or life. If you would like to hear more conversations like these and you're not yet a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe through your preferred podcast platform. And follow us on Instagram at oneday.thepodcast. And you could reach me on my personal Instagram account at @o_almajali. And last but not least, if you prefer to watch the full episode on video, then you can do so on our YouTube channel, One Day the Podcast. Till next time.